And from the other side with Green Bay, I mean, is there going to be concern for that Aaron Rodgers toe? He got it stepped on again. He says what he has is worse than turf toe. And for those that don't know, when you hear a player having turf toe or a toe injury, turf toe is unbelievably painful, unbelievably painful. And he's got a toe issue now. He was running around and still doing his thing. It's all about managing pain. But one thing else that happens in November and going forward, rarely do injuries get better. Rarely do they heal up and you say, oh yeah, by the start of the playoffs, I'm 100%. That stuff just lingers and or gets even a little worse as the season goes on. So I know it's a toe, but we know the way Aaron Rodgers is moving, running occasionally and moving, and how good it is. We saw a toe with Patrick Mahomes and how it can affect you as well. So just something to keep an eye on going forward.
And, Mike, it was such a strange thing because we didn't even know he had a toe injury until he returned from COVID reserve last Saturday, the day before the game at home against, and who did they play that week? Why am I blanking on whoever they beat? Oh, it was the Seahawks. Well, because they blanked the Seahawks, that's why I blanked on who it was. Nice save.
Him and Russ, right.
But the toe injury popped up out of nowhere, missed a couple of days of practice in the week leading up to the Vikings game. Here's Rodgers after the loss to Minnesota talking about the status of his toe.
No, and I've had turf toe. It's a little worse than turf toe. I'm just going to have to get through the bye and hope I can get some healing over the bye week. Probably the same schedule next week. Was in a lot of pain. Went in at halftime early to get it checked out. It's very, very painful. Got stepped on in the first half, and that kind of activated all the symptoms I was having. So it's going to be another painful week next week, and then hopefully start to feel a little better in the bye.
Yeah, he didn't show much by way of limited functionality, but when you're constantly playing through pain, that does wear you down. It was odd when he left the field with time left in the first half because the Packers got the ball back, and this is one of the great Hail Mary throwers of NFL history that you're just conceding. You took a knee with Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to take a knee in that spot, but there he is waiting to get into the locker room, I guess, to get his toe checked out. But, Mike, as you said, turf toe, and it sounds fairly innocuous, turf toe. I remember when I first heard about it. Sims and I talked about this last week. Franco Harris had turf toe back in the 70s. You're thinking, turf toe? He's got some turf on his toe. It just doesn't sound nearly as bad as it is. And you think about it, when you walk, when you run, when you exert, what's the last thing that comes off the ground? It's that big toe. And if that big toe has ligament damage, and that's what happened to Patrick Mahomes last year, and it was 3 days after the Super Bowl that he had surgery, and I'm still not sure he's 100% recovered from that. And the bye week's coming for the Packers. They got the Rams on Sunday, which is not going to be easy, coming off of their bye this past weekend, and then the Packers get some time. But as you said, how much better is it really going to get in December when you've got some stressful games coming up, some demanding games coming up? Whatever healing you get during your bye week, it's going to be gone like that.
Oh, it absolutely is. And the tape job for turf toe, by the way, is a pretty interesting one as well that you get done to help support. And the one thing, and listen, this is part of the game. I did it all the time when I had injuries that could be done for this. I took the needle to numb the areas of injury, to numb the pain, to play. I did it, and I have no regrets in doing it. And it's still done today by players. But this is something you can't really do. It's very difficult to run around and not have feeling in your big toe. So there are certain things that you can use the needle for and certain things that you can't, just from a safety precaution or just from the feel of it. I mean, to run around and not feel your big toe would be very, very difficult to do. So a lot of it is pain management, just what you can deal with from other ways of trying to take care of the pain, to not have as much during the game. That's just one that's very difficult. You just have to live with. And then, as you said, now I know he said this isn't turf toe, but then if you have a toe issue and then you get it stepped on, which happens an awful lot out on the field, and that just exacerbates it, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, he says it's a little bit worse than turf toe. I don't know what's worse than turf toe. Is like toe partially hanging off of the foot. Like, What would be worse than having the ligaments stretched and strained and inflamed and irritated to the point where every step you take is like a knife jamming into the front end of your foot? And Mike, I'm glad you mentioned the reality that, because I think fans just think, oh, take the shot, oh, take some pills, numb the pain. Yeah, you need to be able to at least feel how your body is connecting to the turf and have like some general awareness. I know one of the things Sims says is when you see guys get certain types of injuries, it could be that it's just a product of their body being numb and they don't quite know where their body is in relation to the ground because they don't have that reaction. You don't feel your foot land on the ground, and you can get worse of an injury doing that. There really is risk in numbing pain because pain is the signal to the brain that, hey, maybe you want to be a little careful what you do there.
Oh, my God, there's no doubt there's a risk to it, without question, that there's an area of your body that's hurt and you can't feel if it's getting hurt anymore. I mean, and there are certain things that doctors, the team doctors won't do that said, I can't do this because you could hurt this area more. It could lead to something else and you wouldn't know about it. But listen, I asked for it when I needed it. And if it was an area they could shoot, they did it. And if it wasn't, then they wouldn't. And a lower extremity, a foot like that or a toe, it is difficult. Not even from the fact, Mike, of you can hurt it more and not know about it because that's there, that's present. You don't feel it. I mean, try running without feeling your big toe. I think it would mess with you. So it'd be very difficult. And sometimes what you do is you try things during the week. You'll like shoot it during the week to see how it feels on the practice field and can I manage doing whatever function I need to do with whatever part of the body that I got shot. You kind of test it out. Now, doctors don't want to do that too much. You don't want, needles going in your body all the time. But, you want to see if you're going to be right, if it's going to be right. And sometimes it's just not worth it to do because it can affect your play too much.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.